Sorry, y'all. Guess the video was cut short. I didn't realize I had been recording for about an hour now. So, maybe that's why I should get to YouTube, huh? But I have to get more acquainted with having how to do a YouTube video. But right now, it's just me, Lani. Okay, so I'm cutting down the gold. And I've done 8 of the other one. So I'm gonna do 8 of this. Maybe I'll do 9, I think, because it's supposed to be at least 17 or 18 stems. So yeah. But this was $1.99 at the Carolina Pottery, y'all. I got it on sale. So happy when I get the bargain and add to my collection all at the same time. If you're anything like me with supply savvy, especially when I have so much creative things that I do, you don't even want to see my shed. It's so helpful because then you get to, like, this was brand new from last year, and I haven't even used it until now. So see how long you can keep it and use it when you need it. So I'm going to cut down, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. I'm just going to do 9 just in case. 8. And 9. Sorry, y'all. Sun. Okay, so like I said before, with the blue and the gold ribbons, you fold them in at the ends. Make sure you have a little bit of flap there. See the flap right here. So hold that down and then make sure that the center of this pretty much folds even down to that flap that you have at the bottom, and then pinch it in. And here we are. I think this is gonna look really, really cute with this. I wanted to add a little bit of color to it. So push it down into your stem and twist your stem around the bow. And then flare out your bow like so. There we are. I'm going to continue. Sorry if y'all see glitter on my arms and stuff. I did some confetti for my son when I decorated the house. And we have balloon confetti and confetti everywhere. And I will be vacuuming up in a little bit, because that's what moms do. We clean and we cook. We provide. We do wreaths. And we have businesses. I plan on opening up my own store eventually because everybody keeps telling me that I should. And I guess it just takes a lot of, like, I guess claiming it, putting it out into the air. Especially when other people are telling me, you should. Then I eventually be like, I should do that. Eventually. It's going to take some time, but I will. But right now, I just have my online store. And, you know, my website, well, my website is my online store. But I'll just stick with that for right now and see how that, which it's been going very, very well, surprisingly. You know, I don't know, maybe I don't have that much faith in myself, but As much as everybody else is like, oh, what's wrong with you? You should. You do an awesome job and you don't charge an arm and a leg, so why not? Me, I'm all about the people. Being from Hawaii, you don't think about the material of charging them what you put into the wreath. I price by the budget because I want everybody to be able to afford it. Even though I've put my all into my wreaths, it's something that I actually enjoy to do. I could see if it was something that I didn't like to do and I'd be like, hey, I'm charging $100 for this because I put all my money into this and I just want to get all my money back. I'm not all about that. I want people to be able to have something nice for their door, enjoy it, and be able to enjoy the price at the same time. So a wreath like this, I would charge $45 just because I like what I do. So, and it's not like I really worked super hard. It might be time consuming. I don't charge for my time. I hardly charge for my labor. It's because I actually have the time, even having a job, and then doing this in between it. And like I said, taking care of 5 kids, 2 stepkids, and taking care of your household. Everything comes together, especially when God is helping you to provide and be able to bless your hands with this gift. So I always say, do it for the people. Do it for your customers, because your customers will always come back. And they will always give you business because you're not charging over, you're not overly pricing them, charging them. So always think about the people that, especially when they support you. Because people like nice things too. I know growing up, I love to look at stuff in the window, doing a video. I love to look at stuff in the window. And sometimes I wasn't able to afford it, but I wanted it so bad. But you just have to kind of walk away and be like, why are these people charging so much for this stuff? But you want to be able to afford it and still, like I said, have nice stuff. So you always think about the people. If no one else is thinking about them, I am. So here we are with our ribbon. I might have to add a bigger one right here and then let the tail fall down from it. So, but this is it so far. I have my gold and my blue, and I'm gonna make the centerpiece with my Cricut, but you can add whatever centerpiece you want to it. And what I do is I usually grab a centerpiece and either hot glue the Chanel, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Hot glue the Chanel stem to the back of it. The back of it. Or if your sign has one of these, I like to accentuate my colors, of course. And make sure that when I'm putting the colors in, they're blue or gold, I can tie this, take this off. I can tie this into the top of the rope that's hanging. If you don't have a rope that is hanging from your sign, just either, I like to get like, I like to staple mine. If not, hot glue the darn thing to the side so that you can have your Chanel stems on the side. And once you put it into, I'm going to show you. Once you put it into your center, it will stay. You always want your stuff to stay, but you don't want it to look like it's squishing. This is a sign. You don't want it to look like it's squishing. This actually might go good with this, but I'm not gonna do that to that lady. But anyway, this you don't want this squishing into the thing. You just want it to look like it's just laying on there, but they don't know that it's not gonna come off. So right here, I like to do it at the very bottom, because once you start to put the mesh, it'll cover your little staple thing. Sometimes the hot glue gun does not work. It does not keep the chenille stem on there. Sometimes you can hot glue it though. I mean, I'm not hot glue it, super glue it, but we're not gonna do that. I'm going to do one at the top, like I did, and then we're gonna do one at the bottom. And what I like to do is I center, like how I have my chenille stem going from one end to the other, and then I put the staple at the very bottom, so where it's not seeable, and I staple it down, and then I do it one more time just to make sure it's on there. Yes, everybody in my house, they literally think I'm going cuckoo when they hear all of this stuff. And then I like to fold it over this staple, just like once or twice. So, sorry. And then here we go. See, look, not that hard. You got one at the bottom, you got one at the top. Me, looks like this in the front, but I use my scissors, like if the staple's kind of sticking out, I use my scissors and I bend it in, because you don't want it sticking the person. So bend it in. That's if you're using a staple. You can put it on any kind of way you want, but I use a staple because it's more sturdy and I want my stuff to stay. And no one's paying attention to the bottom of the sign like that, because there's nothing significant about the bottom of the board. See, look at the bottom. Who's paying attention to that? Anyway, so my mom over here looking at me like I'm crazy, but she knows how I do this. So what I will be doing is I'm going to stick this into the mesh and slide it in to where it's not visible. So you want to make sure that you're still able to see your bowls, but stick it and stuff it into the wire that's behind the wreath. So, and center your sign. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to kind of weave it in there, in between the mesh, and then be able to fill to the back of the wreath and be able to pull my two chenille stems back here and tie it around. Therefore, you won't be able to see that joker back there. And you're not squishing anything. And then do the same for the bottom. I just kind of wrap the chenille stem into the bar back there. Who's paying attention to the back of the wreath? No one, because it's going to be against the door. So I wrap it around and fold it in. Therefore, here's the top part. Now, once you do this, you're going to get your bottom part and you're going to adjust it to the bottom and stick it in the same way you did the top. So here we go. Pull it up a little bit so it's even. Stick it and weave it in. Even if you have to stick the chenille stem through the mesh back there, it's still fine. It's not going to kill the mesh, I promise. No one's looking at the mesh back there at all. It's just behind the sign. So we're gonna stick it through. Make sure it looks even. And voila. Make sure you tie the back. I promise y'all, I'm not messing with this lady's order. I just wanted to show you how to do it on her stuff. But you always flare out your bows if you have it right there. Flare out your bows. situate your mesh and make sure you have some stuff going on where it's not looking kind of cuckoo. And here you are, y'all. Look at that. Look at that. See? It's really not that hard. And then you can kind of pull the mesh around it a little bit, just kind of situate it, if it's just that visible. Mine's really isn't. And then anyway, I'm gonna add a bow to the to the bottom part of this to where it's gonna stand. It's gonna take over this area right here. So let me go ahead and show you how I do that. Now, being that I used these two, I am going to do this same size that I did the mesh, 17. So we're gonna cut it to 17. And I'm not making this super huge bowl, y'all, I promise. You can measure it as big as you want it. But right now, this is just something simple that I'm doing right now. So I like to alternate my bows and do that at 17. And do another one. Just doing something quick, y'all. Just to get the bow going. And one more of the blue. I usually do like 3 or 4 of each, but this is just examples. So, alternating your bows. You're gonna set your alternate. So this is the gold and the blue, and this is your gold back here. And then we're gonna do the gold and the blue right up under it. And then we're gonna do the gold up under that. Make sure they're even across. So layer them on top of each other. What we're gonna do is we're gonna fold at the ends all together. And I like to pinch in the middle. Get you a nice chenille stem. And twist it around the top part. Twist it as tight as you can. Because you don't want that slipping out. Twist it. Keep it on there. What you're going to do with this top part, you're going to fluff it out. Pull them out. And pull. Pull and into a pattern. That's why you cut it, the pattern, into the pattern that we put it in. This is just a smaller bow, so don't expect nothing extravagant. But this is pretty much how I do. Like I said, I add like 3 or 4 of them so that'll look more fluffier. But right now, this is what we've got to show you. And pull, pull, pull. Situate it. Pull it. Now, once you start adding more to it, it'll look more, you know, like you've added, like it's gonna look more luxurious. But right now, this is what it's gonna look like for right now. Like I said, this is just purely an example. At your ends, you're gonna do the same. You're gonna pull them apart. You can, like I said, you can make them a lot longer. Just pull them apart into a pattern. Like so. And then I'm going to dovetail my ends. course, get this together. And dovetail, and pull and dovetail. So therefore, you'll see all the patterns coming together side by side, pretty much. And pull. Like so. And then I dovetail my ends, and then I attach them. So, dovetailing your ends. Fold your bottom right here. Fold your bottom. Make it even on there. You're gonna cut at an angle out to in. In to out. So, cut an angle. Here you go. Here's your dovetail. And do them all like that. Like I said, purely an example. I usually do mine a lot longer, but I don't want the video to cut off on me again. So, we're on a time consumption right now. That clock is ticking. So, cut, cut, cut. Okay, I love using wired ribbon, because you get to manipulate the ribbon how you want it, to flare out how you want it. So, but if you're not dealing with that, it's still fine. Whichever ribbon you use will look pretty regardless. So, I've dovetailed all of my ends. I've got my ribbon in the middle, still standing, and flare it out, flare it out, flare it out. Now, what you're gonna do with this chenille stem is you're going to make sure you tuck it in between your dovetail part and tuck it down in to where you can get the back part of it. And then we're going to attach it. Even if it's on another bow, that's still fine, because at least they know there's a bow sitting there. They're gonna love it. And then stick your chenille stem in the same way that you did to get to the back of the base part of the mesh. The wreath. Stick it in there. Make sure it meets the back of the wire. Got a feel for that back there. And oh, I think I got it. And tie it. And fold. And pull out your, flare it out. Here we are. Flare it out. Therefore, they can see the pattern in between. There we are. And just manipulate your bow. Here's the bow. See how you hardly see where I stapled it. And that is it. That is how you do a wreath, you guys. Now, if you have any questions, just like I said, just message me, and I can go down and do a breakdown of every part of it. Whatever you need, just let me know. Thank you. Bye-bye.